So much more room for activities.
We are
Chickity check check.
Chickity check. Oh, we are live.
Brought the notes.
We're live. My man's fucking ready.
He is.
You ready to catch a case?
Just gonna pull up the standings.
Yeah. So just kind of go at the end of it and just kind of pull a little bit towards you. Yeah.
Right.
Kind of by the end of it. Yeah.
That's the best part. That
Ooh,
works.
this could be.
You can keep pulling it up.
You want to turn that TV on right there, motherfucker?
It should be.
How
Adam
do we do
Ball's
this?
standing up in the bottom right-hand corner.
No,
Not even standing up, actually.
We were having a
I'm ready to go. I feel like
Said I'm
I
ready
should
to go.
have an espresso shot.
Oh yeah, that's like they probably woke you up.
Get rocked in.
Well, you were gone. We were having some problems just trying to figure out how to turn this TV
Bro,
on.
when I'm gone, when I'm here, we always be having problems.
But we
We're
couldn't
talking
figure
It
about-
literally doesn't matter if.
This entire brand
Doesn't
is
matter
just
where,
problems.
who's where.
Listen, I love tech issues. That's my fucking problem. And
That was
that's my
just-
fucking problem.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
what is up? Let's check and see how the sound's doing. Let's do one of those live
I
sound checks.
swear to- If we have sound issues right now.
I don't.
Well, I got this low enough that I can drink it.
There we go.
You've been
Signals.
tossing that caramel melt back.
All right, we're a little echoey.
Sound robot.
Nope.
Jesus fuck. Gotta fucking maneuver.
Oh my god, I love it.
You know, like Galaxy fans for these motherfucking times? It's freaking
Yes.
out.
Do we got the alien filter on again? Is that what we're gonna refer to that one as? Do you work today, Mike?
Yeah,
How was it?
it's kind of slow.
Excuse me. And thank you, Humps, for buying a CX5 for me.
I'm about to need that inside information again, my brother. We'll work a deal out.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
still
Let me know.
this joint over here. True. How are we sounding? Check 1 2. Is there anybody there?
Check, check.
Says there's 4 people, but I'm afraid it's us.
Mike
That sounds
Charles.
good.
Sounds a lot better.
Sounds way better.
Listen, bark twice if you're in Milwaukee, Baxter. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite all-time irrelevant movie quotes.
Can you guys hear me pretty good? Watch my fat ass squeeze and shimmy back on in here.
Yep, we're good, Mike.
Nice.
Oh yeah, we're good to go. All right, so
Here we go. This thing needs to.
listen, I can't wait for the second recap. I just feel like I will be.
Oh, yeah, you're down bad. Same record as me. Can't say shit anymore.
I can though.
No, you can't.
That's
We have the same record. You used to always be like, how many wins you got? How many wins
How many
you
wins
got?
do you have in the playoffs in the last 5 years?
Hey, if I had fucking...
So, all right.
Yeah, we're going there.
We're gonna do this cool thing tonight where we take turns on everything, and we're gonna turn that audio off because we sound fine. Well, we sound horrible, but we sound fine.
Yeah,
Audio
audio's
quality
clear. Audio's
wise.
clear. Yeah.
Yes, but
Just to clarify as to what that.
yeah, Lane likes to bring this horse shit up all the time about like I tagged him in something today because your defense is 31st according
Listen,
to
I'm staying in my
PFF.
own lane. I'm minding my own fucking business.
And
I get a notification.
No, you get an ad.
I get an
You get
yeah,
a
that's what I'm
straight
saying. I get a
fucking
notification
retweet with an ad.
about 2:00
Yo,
p.m.
I said it with my chest, all right? I said it with my chest. I'm like, how are y'all paying $98 million for the second worst defense?
That got
and
us
you're
a
like-
ring
you're
2
like-
years ago.
Yeah, and once again, I replied with the fact that you guys paid $48 million for
Listen,
that defense.
At no
so-
point in any time in the past 7 weeks or so did I stand here and say that our defense was worth shit. Besides Chris
No.
Jones, because that is a disruptive brother.
Well, we'll be talking about that
Oh, yeah.
here tonight. So,
Sack Nation, baby. I love. Oh no, that's so Nick Bolton and Willie
I'm a
Gay. I was
fan of
telling you about
Bolton.
Bolton's a dog. Bolton flies over the field. He's a dog.
If you go listen
Siggy
to
knows
mine
that.
and Cole's
Oh, here we
draft
go.
podcast, I'm
I
pretty
talked
sure
about it
we
since
talked
high
about
school.
Nick Bolton.
We did. We did.
You guys,
We shouted out Nick Bolton. That was
Yes.
one of the boys. That was one of the boys we put on.
I was like, if
So, yeah.
I could get him as a late first round
Which-
steal, early second round, I was like, I would definitely.
Draft
love to
season
have
is
him.
upon us as we are gathering viewers here. They did release the newest top 5 board, and I believe Kayvon Thibodeau was on it. It's going to be kind of a
Thibodeau.
shame that I don't know.
I love you, Chance.
Y'all said he was going to the Jets. I honestly think at this point the Lions, just because of misfortune. Misfortune honestly has to be.
It was just a crazy little play there. God, I want the Braves to fucking win this one.
Yeah, the Lions could use some good luck.
The Lions.
Listen.
Well, once again, they could just use a generational talent to piss down their leg.
If there's a team that's playing with heart, it's Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a team that should
Alright,
have
give it a
that should
couple
be
minutes.
0-7, it's Detroit. They
I've
should have a
shared it
win,
with
or 0-6.
everybody that I can. Oh, we got a couple extras in here. Chance.
I think they're one of the best win this teams to ever do it, honestly.
He's the realest
there's-
one.
there's-
I
if
do
there's-
love the Dan Campbell led.
Oh, I love Campbell.
The absolute like mauling Lions.
He
that
kind
just
of reminds me
lose.
of like a younger Stu Finder, just that energy. Like,
He reminds me of if a lion was actually a person.
yeah.
So do we figure out if he was the cocaine one from
I'm
Miami?
pretty sure he was. Was he not? I
Who?
swear to, remember, was it there like an offensive or defensive line coach or that he was shooting the video in his office? He was doing some fucking lines.
That has
Yeah.
to be Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I swear to God,
that
it was Dan
has
Campbell.
to be. I mean, the
He
energy
was
that
like
he
trying to
brings to
send.
the table.
I think it was a University of Miami college student or some shit he was talking to.
Yeah, I think so.
Some obviously he was sugar daddy and some chick.
We will
Down
cover
in
this.
Miami.
We will
Anyways,
cover
yeah.
this here. We got 5 viewers coming in. We got a couple of people that aren't.
We're
us here,
getting
so-
juicy. We're getting juucy early.
All right. Well, I will kick us off here, ladies and gentlemen.
Steaming up in Miami.
I got bored.
Are we starting with the AFC East?
Yeah, I called. I called on the boys. God damn.
Hold on.
Hold the fuck
let's,
on.
Let's shout out Chance real quick. They just won City League.
I'm going to dick kick and RKO anybody else who interrupts me from this point on.
Hey, he's the number one supporter of our channel.
100%, and I will get to it. We got the comment section open, homie. We got it going. God, do we have the attention span of a squirrel
Just
goldfish?
saying, give him his props.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chance
Do we wanna-
for winning the City League football once again, playing back-to-back and has his fat ass in tears. So shout out to the boy Chance, taking number one supporter of the channel. We do appreciate you, good sir. So,
Props to you, King.
and we will start with everybody's favorite division. We are going to be doing a bit of a tri-season, a bit of a third down review here. Third way through the actual season, through 7 weeks of a 22-week NFL season with the Super Bowl. So I said, fuck it, let's just go ahead and rock and roll this off the top of our noggins here tonight. So we're going to start with the AFC West here because we have 3 AFC West fans here. Siglin, you can be an honorary Chargers fan since they don't actually exist.
Always,
so.
Always
have
Chargers
been.
fan.
I've always been on the bandwagon
Uncle
ever since they were in
Ray.
San Diego.
No, my Uncle Clyde is just a big fan, so I always watch Chargers games all the time.
All right. You will be our resident Chargers fan. So, Siggy, my boy, let's just start with you then. Let's talk about a team that was in first place, obviously, at a bye week. Sitting at 4-2 right now. Justin Herbert's looking good. Talk to me about the San Diego Superchargers.
They have the number one pass defense in the NFL,
Yes, correct.
but they have the 15th rush defense, which overall knocks them down to, I believe, 11 total in defense.
Do you have these stats offhand?
Do we have any?
Do we have? We are
These were
looking up. We
these
are
were
looking
2
up the
weeks ago
stats
from
as
PFF.
we.
When I was researching.
Did you on God just say to the?
This is 2 weeks ago, but I still know they have the number one pass defense. That was on
So-
PFF today. I saw that today.
Broncos were 3-0.
Siglin Wheeler, yesterday's greatest reporter,
Oh
ladies
my
and gentlemen.
God.
Oh,
About a week ago, I think I
About
saw
a
that
week
report.
ago. Week
Yeah.
ago. Jeez, I love you, man.
Oh my God, I love it.
We can give opinions
Well,
about
fucking.
naming stats that we don't know for sure.
Maybe throw an
Alrighty.
I think in there or something, you know, like
Yeah.
a firm ass, like it is promised.
If I could
by me.
conjure up an opinion, the Chargers right now are first in pass defense. I'd rank them about 15th in rush defense.
No, I'm pretty sure that
Listen,
was-
kind of from what I've been watching the last, I guess I haven't watched them since week 4, but
Fuck you.
listen,
How
Drew
about-
Brees is looking like a stud for the Chargers this year. Okay,
I don't know why you'd waste a first round pick on Phillip Rivers. I mean, it just doesn't make
It just
sense.
doesn't make sense. God,
Listen.
where was Rivers out of? Was it TCU? No,
NC State.
NC State. That's what it was.
Listen, all I'm saying is just because we had Kellen Winslow doesn't mean we need to draft his son. There's something sketchy about that kid.
Winslow Senior is an absolute OG though.
Hey, yeah,
I know.
Siglin, we got the helmet.
Yeah, I guess we should. That is kind of cool.
We should get out the helmet here. So, Mike Shaw, would you like to grab the
And-
helmet, sir?
And the
for someone?
Maniac one, he's been
If
balling.
we
this
could, yes,
year.
and we will. Well, I was gonna have him bring the Colts out when we get the Colts.
When we
here.
get there, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
It's just a, well, yeah, say we got to show off the auto there.
There we go. We do have a Kellen Winslow auto. So, Siggy, looking it up here, how do you feel about the Chargers going in? I'll look up the stats. You talk about your San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers.
I'm going to have to pull up the remaining of my schedule from my team.
Sorry, they're 14th in rush defense. Was one off.
Okay, asterisk next to anything you say. The rest of the
Oh,
show.
yeah. I mean, that's big.
Be off by one. No,
That's
no,
what
yeah.
I'm saying on PFF today.
Okay.
We're all going to need to have the exact answer. But I do know they're the number one pass defense in the NFL.
We were just...
I thought you guys just wanted a really rough ballpark, okay?
It was a rough estimate coming off the top of the dome.
Got
Sorry
lucky
to prepare
once.
my notes. I had to take a little nap.
All right, so anyways, enough arguing between you two. That's what
Sorry.
most of these episodes are.
Yes.
Let's divert a little bit. Siglin, what do you feel about the Chargers so far? Just looking at the team, because you got
So
Austin
bad.
Eckler, you got Mike Williams, you got Justin Herbert. So you got the Disney Channel stars on lockdown. So how the fuck is
offense is-
Studio 37 doing?
Offense is
Talk to us.
high-powered. Their line is kicking. They spent decent money to bring in some veterans. They also drafted the rookie in Slater.
Left tackle, Slater, yeah.
Slater.
He's been,
He's been balling out. And then you have Asante Samuels Jr. playing like one of the best corners in the league.
One of the
Asante
steals that they have.
Samuels. I love how you say Samuels every time.
But honestly, yeah, one of the best young prospects out there. But-
Samuels Juniors.
Yes.
Asante
Okay.
Samuels Juniors. It's a
And
lot of
then
S's.
they also have getting Derwin back for hopefully a full season, we pray. You know, so that defense could be scary and they could continue on. The only issue is you have two premier receivers, and it seems like almost all of the really, really good teams in the NFL right now have three really good receivers. Like you have a full core of like three guys that could go be a number one or a number two somewhere else, or like that third guy could go take someone else's number one job. Like I feel like Christian Kirk could go start for the Jets and be number
Wow.
two threat easily.
I think that's
is
a
like
pretty
what
wide
I'm saying.
open field, too, though.
What I'm saying,
I
feel
think
like
Hunter
some-
Renfro could
Well,
go
that's
start
what
for
I'm
the
saying,
Jets. I
like-
mean, if we're talking about three receivers, I mean, McCole Hardman could go start for the Jets right now. Like, Uncle Rico could go start for the Jets right now.
Who's their number one? Corey Davis.
Yeah.
He's gotten better, but yeah.
Corey
he's
Davis
bad.
and Elijah Moore I like. And you got Jamison Crowder back. So I probably shouldn't disrespect the wide receiving core of the Jets that bad. Also, who's the boy we have a couple of cards on? Denzel Mims.
Oh, we have
Mims.
we
So-
have Elijah
so,
Moore,
but-
we have
We have Mims. Yeah, I like Mims.
Unfortunately, they got all them receivers, but no quarterback to throw
no
to
quarterback,
him.
no
No
quarterback.
quarterback to throw to him. Zach Wilson scared for his life.
Yeah, they need an O-line.
Joe
though.
Flacco is older than the dirt in the ground.
Yo.
I don't know why I'm going Cajun with a fucking New York team, but I started going Waterboy and I just kind of rolled with it. Fuck it. Whatever.
This ain't the Saints,
I feel
right?
like-
This ain't the Saints. Yeah. Okay, I call the Saints when we do them. But anyways, wrapping up
I
the
feel
Chargers
like where
here.
the Chargers are the weakest at is in their linebacking core. They definitely need to diversify that or get stronger there in the next few seasons. And then they need to get like a true number one tight end. Since Hunter Henry left, they only have Cook for one season. They needed to probably fix that because that is a big safety blanket. As you were seeing every year, the tight end position is growing more and more.
I agree. Tight end is where they could improve that offense, if at all.
I think Josh Palmer will eventually break out and to be something pretty nice out of Tennessee.
I do like Josh Palmer out of Tennessee. I think he's really raw right now. I mean, you're looking at a tall, long receiver who runs a good 40 time and everything,
He's
but he
making
needs to
some-
polish up those. And he makes big catches,
He
but
was
the
making
problem.
those plays during the preseason.
Well, and that's the problem though. Is those guys make the plays during the preseason, but once again, I think almost as a team, I'm going to talk about the Raiders. You're going to see a lot of polish out of like year two receivers, and Josh Palmer could be one of those guys who, through the rest of year one, and honestly going into year two, polishes up that route running, becomes that third option next to Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. And obviously, one of those guys is very often injured, so it's almost like he's going to be jettisoned into the number 2 role here at some point.
You're not wrong.
So, I don't know. So, Chief, let's kick it on over to you. So, bit of a shocker. I'd say, honestly, one of the surprises of the season. We have the Chiefs sitting at 3-4 in the basement next to the Broncos. You guys. It's a moment for us to kind of take in the sunshine here. Honestly, as a Raiders fan, a faux Chargers fan, and a Broncos fan here, because obviously Mike's tied up with you. He actually has a positive win-loss record, but when you're playing community college teams, that's pretty easy. You guys
True.
have put up the most points in the division, but unfortunately, you've also allowed the most at 203 points allowed to 188 points. So where do the Chiefs turn it around? Because honestly, I had you guys stoking that fire and going on a run, and you just laid a fucking egg against the Bills.
Well, and the Titans just
Different.
I think it was in Tennessee. I think they wanted it more than us. I mean, I think it just fucking showed. In the second half, our defense didn't allow any points, but our offense didn't score any points.
That's
So, our defense finally, got a fucking grip, but now our offense didn't want to do anything. It was Patty's first game without 250 yards throwing and/or a touchdown. I think that says something though. Patty's only 26, and he's having. This is what you consider an off year, but he's still putting up some pretty impressive numbers, in my opinion. Our defense can't hold up their own. Like I said, they finally just turned it around this week. We're cheeks. We look like we had never fucking played together before. I don't know what it is.
Isn't Patty tied for the league-leading interceptions right now?
Yeah, but
Well, I think what you're seeing out of
Oh
Patrick
my
Mahomes
God.
here, I think it's a combination, a little bit of growing pains. Honestly, for the first time, this is his third or fourth year starting.
yeah,
You go through this, like, honestly, like, not to compare him, but the closest experience I have, obviously, with that number 4, Derek Carr, is like, yeah, he had that blowout year in 2016. He got hurt, and then it's like teams figured him out, and it took a couple of years for him to adapt to where you're now starting to see that flourish in the last couple of years. Once again, I'm not going to knock Patrick Mahomes, but it's almost relieving to kind of see because he came on and just was superstar right away. So he's going to have these struggles, but he's showing that he has a little bit of kryptonite at some point. But
and they all
I don't
will.
thi- I don't
Like
think
we're
it's gonna
seeing
last
these
long. I don't
guys
think it's
like
gonna last long.
Herbo's absolute balling this year. Like these guys are gonna have that timetable where it's gonna get rough. And like you said too, post game come Sunday. I mean, last couple years have been butterflies and rainbows, but I mean, if we're doing what this team wants to accomplish and truly strive for, I mean, there's gonna be some bumps in the road because obviously people are tired of hearing about us and they're tired of hearing about our fucking team and what we can do and how we're number one, this, and that. So it just feels everyone else's fire. So if we aren't on our fucking shit, ready to play football, then clearly it's been showing these last couple weeks. Because honestly, we look like a bunch of bitches half the time. Our offense doesn't
hold on
look.
here, it looks like
Our audio is a
video.
little. But one bright side. Just gonna throw it on there since we're still recording. Six of our last 10 games are at home. So
Well, if it
we'll find out. Take an ice cream break. Oh. It's so funny because you actually think your team has a chance to do shit with that quarterback of yours. When the best
Watch
chance you
us.
have is one playoff.
The NFL Network was just talking about us as the best dark horse to win the Super Bowl.
You just heard that? You
How
just
many-
heard that?
How many interceptions? One?
One.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty good. Big old
And
bite.
technically it was a TINT.
How many of Patty's fucking interceptions are
Can you give
tipped?
me a tip on how to get this a little more up?
I just pulled a handle. Eat this.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck
just
yeah.
gotta
We in
pull
business now, baby.
Yeah, right here is what I use as my action point, basically.
Oh, we live, baby.
You turn
Yeah.
it.
I don't know. I feel like I could do an hour solo, but once a week though. Because
Once a week.
if you had to do an hour every day, like you would run out of shit to talk about.
Alrighty, well, we're back. I got food and drink. President Fat Kid over here, so
You got food. There's like 12 raisins in there.
yeah.
We're
Actually,
not-
you're wrong. There's like 23.
Probably like
Okay.
We're not talking about the baseball
That's
game.
definitely-
Yeah.
No one mentioned that.
Alrighty, so getting back to it, we got the Chiefs here. Disappointing. Sad.
Our offense, I think we were scoring on 40% of our drives were touchdowns before this week. So, I mean, our offense was producing to a certain extent. Our defense was just giving up everything. And if we turned the ball over, I mean, it was just points guaranteed on the board. And we could barely just fight and scratch for fucking anything. So, like I said, the fact that, the 6 out of the last 10 we're playing at home at least. This next one being against the Giants on a Monday night. We need to play some Chiefs football and take care of that momentum into the next week because we play the Packers. That's going to be a tough game, but I believe that's also at home. So we just need to get back to Chiefs football. I don't really know what else to say. Our defense is cheeks. I loved what I've seen out in Nick Bolton. Yeah, we need to find a corner besides L'Jarius Sneed that can cover somebody. Chris Jones, like I said, is still a stud. We just didn't have him for quite some time. Frank Clark really hasn't produced.
I have a quick note to add on the Chiefs. Vegas is kind of showing a little bit of doubt here. They dropped down to the 10th best odds to win the Super Bowl when usually up until this week they've been number one.
Yeah, no, we
So,
were.
Just
Well, and
to point
just
that out.
God, there's been some other teams that have been too impressive though to live there with the contention. The Cardinals and Rams,
I can't
especially.
wait for the Cardinals-Bucks game, NFC Championship. That is going to be insane.
Well, there's his prediction that we usually say for the end of the show, but
There it is.
yep, coming on in early. Here we go. Alrighty, Mr. Shaw,
Me first?
Broncos.
This
Let's
is
set
tough.
the table, ladies and gentlemen. After 3 weeks
Mm.
of pretty dominant wins, 4-game losing streak here. Unfortunately, your coach doesn't have any emails that are scandalous that were released. So Vic Fangio is still at the helm. How you feeling?
Well, at this point in the season, we're really at rock bottom. The worst part is starting off 3-0. I feel like Broncos country, we really got our hopes up. We were feeling good about ourselves. Bridgewater was playing great. Defense was playing great. And then we just happened to run into Lamar Jackson, and he kind of torched us through the air, and the defense has just been letting everything by him ever since. It really culminated all in the Raiders game just a week ago Sunday. And we got embarrassed and couldn't keep anybody in front of our DBs. So it's just really at an all-time low. The defense is looking bad. The offense is looking bad. If they don't win against Washington football team this Sunday, I think it might be time to start making some major changes, like Vic Fangio, maybe get him out of there, start working on some momentum for next year, because I don't think that we're really at a point to see, I say we. That's how you know I'm a true Broncos fan, and I love the Broncos. I cannot help but say we, even when I'm making an effort to not. So, yeah, I would say this is a big week. If they don't win, are getting a few players back soon. Judy, Chubb, a few guys. But what I would say has been most disappointing is the big-name free agent corners that Denver brought in that have just been getting lit up. Ronald Darby, Fuller. Those are big-name guys making $10, $15 million a year. Like veteran, probably former Pro Bowls. I'm sure both of them have made a Pro Bowl, and they've just gotten embarrassed by none other than Henry Ruggs was just eating on Denver at Mile High. So, yeah, I would just say Broncos fans, we're at an all-time low right now, especially since we got our hopes up. So hopefully they can turn it around. I wish there was some good quarterbacks to tank for to have some fun to hope, but stuff is just not looking good. So if you still have belief on this season, I respect you, because I'm starting to give up after these last 2 games.
Oh, hell.
You can tell I'm a real fan because I'm saying we, but I'm starting to give up in week 8. Siglin, I believe you had your finger up. What would you have to chime in on the subject?
Maybe not totally get rid of Vic, because he is one of the best defensive minds, but maybe demote him more to defensive coordinator than running the offense.
I'll just say sometimes it's better to have realistic expectations. Cole here, how many years? with
Listen,
no-
listen.
You believe too
Listen,
much.
here's what I think a realistic expectation is one of 2 things happens. One, Teddy Bridgewater regains confidence and form, because honestly, if he just plays, it's easy to say over here, but honestly, he looks less confident. He honestly does. He looks less confident when he's on the field, and so I think you got one of 2 options. Siglin, I'm gonna fucking pimp slap you.
Please.
Yes. All right, but Teddy Bridgewater is a shaken man, just like I'm not going to be shook at all by Siglin slapping me when Carson Wentz doesn't reach 13 interceptions. But we'll be getting to the AFC South and your Colts here, and you'll have your time. Teddy Bridgewater, I think, needs to be benched. I think throw Drew Lock in there, because honestly, Drew Lock can overthrow Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton just as well as Teddy Bridgewater does. And Drew Lock, he can wrap G easy, and honestly, he's more likely to sling it down the field a little bit more. You have Melvin Gordon, you have Javonte Williams. If the defense starts owning up to its balls, I still have a little bit of faith in Denver, because I think I know what the problem is there, but whether they fix it or not is honestly on a coin flip. But honestly, I think the problem's identifiable there. And honestly, worst comes to worst, here's the deal. In the offseason, you take the farm, you bundle it all up. You put a nice fucking bow on it, and you send it to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and you go ahead and you trade for Aaron Rodgers, all right?
Cole, please stop.
That's what you do. All your draft picks.
you never
2
mentioned
years,
what
3
the
years of
problem
draft
was.
picks. 3 years of draft picks. Quarterback play, defense. The offensive line is actually playing pretty decently. I like Javonte Williams. I like Melvin Gordon. The young receiving core is killer. Dude, Tim Patrick's your guys' third receiver, and the guy catches everything in sight. Seriously,
Yeah,
he's honestly pretty impressive. I think the problem is one of your quarterbacks needs to either grow some balls, step up, or go outside and get one. Unfortunately, I think Deshaun Watson would have been that guy this offseason, but 22 massage therapists had a different thing to say about that. So here you guys are. I think Aaron Rodgers is honestly the top shelf of what you're looking at right here. But honestly, if not, yeah, the quarterback class ain't looking good.
So you're saying quarterback play.
Quarterback play, I think, is number one. Dude, you guys have the receivers and the offensive talent. Literally plug in a quarterback to that system right there. I mean, am I wrong?
So
Guess
how's
you
that
reach
Could you
out to
different?
imagine
Cap.
Aaron Rodgers
What?
and Noah Fant?
So you should reach out to Cap.
Yeah. Honestly, Cap would not be a bad idea.
Didn't
But
you guys work a month the other year?
Or Cam?
He hasn't played
This-
in 4 years.
this long out, he's probably rusty. And honestly, at this point, as an NFL franchise, it doesn't make sense to bring him in. Maybe for the buzz move, cool. Yeah, I think quarterback play, and then your defense needs to start playing like they can. Like
Yeah.
they just, dude, the defense can do it. I don't know what the issue is.
So you're saying if the Broncos put in Drew Lock, we have a better chance to make the playoffs? Or
I
a
think-
chance?
I
In that
think
division,
I think
your mighty
your window
Raiders?
your window of probability here of Teddy Bridgewater is pretty safe and calm. Teddy's a nice warm blanket at the end of
I
the
agree
night.
with you, but
He's
I'm saying there's
Netflix
more
at 9
problems.
p.m. Drew Lock's risky. All right, Drew Lock is going out on a Friday night. Drew Lock, you're either going to go into disaster. You guys either get a high pick with Drew Lock, or you guys make the playoffs with him because he starts playing with some moxie. The problem is I don't think they ever gave the kid the keys to the kingdom. Seriously. I don't know. Like I said, a little bit of bias actually towards the Broncos here. I like the young Broncos team, but something has to come through a quarterback. I don't know what does. But that's just my opinion. Just my opinion.
We're toast, guys. I'm sorry.
No faith.
To
no
touch
balls.
on you saying how they never gave Drew the keys to the kingdom.
Remember last year when he threw all those picks?
Well, yeah, he did look rough. I mean,
That's
yeah.
fine. Trevor Lawrence
Which
is
is
going to throw
also
25 picks this year, and I'm all behind that one,
I feel
too.
like a lot of teams aren't willing to have that patience, though. Like, we even hear Philly talking about, not Philly, but other people talking about how Philly should be getting rid of, or not getting rid of, but not start Hurts, basically. I'm like, let them go through them.
Well,
I mean,
they just got rid of Flacco, so they must trust in him a little bit.
Oh,
Wow.
they got Mustache Mountain up there.
they also need to
backing them
figure
up.
out their
Oh, yeah, I
head
forgot
coach.
they got Gardner.
Yeah, they got Gardner. They got Gardner up in Philly. So-
Gardner's low-key, I feel like a decent, I feel like it's a solid
Top
2.
5 backup.
Yeah, yeah, so I'm saying it's a solid 2. Like,
Listen, all I'm saying is if I were the Jets, I made the smart move of trading for Joe Flacco because honestly, if you get Gardner Minshew in New York right now
he
with
won
Zach
with
Wilson's
the Jags.
playing,
I mean, he won some games with the Jags. Like,
underrated. Honestly, give him a shot somewhere. Give him a
I-
shot
I
somewhere.
honestly
Because if
do-
you would have brought Gardner Minshew in as the Eagles quarterback instead of Joe Flacco, dude, New York would have fallen in love with him. Like, and I think honestly he would have done something with that team. Like he's a little bit more of a scrambler than Wilson
you
is.
get Minshew's character in New York.
Because Minshew played behind a garbage offensive line with the Jags too.
That's
so.
what I'm saying. He won some games. Like, he extended some
Mhm.
plays. Like, you would always see that crazy high. Like, Minshew's
Yep.
back at it again. Like,
Dude, he's a slinger, man. Just
Didn't
let
he
him go
throw
out there and
5,000 yards a season in college.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe you guys go out and get him trade deadlines Tuesday. You got 5 days. Maybe some shit
Playoffs.
happens. I would, as a Raiders fan, I would hate to see it, but as just an NFL fan, I would love. Dude, who belongs in the mountains more than Gardner Minshew? I'm all for Mustache Mountain going to the Rocky Mountains. All right, I'm selling on it.
No
Gardner
po-
Minshew to
no
the
point.
Broncos.
well, wants a
Bridgewater
mustache,
unlocked
right?
with
Yeah.
Minshew.
It's because I can't grow one myself. All right, I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Fucking mustache mountain over
Uh,
he says, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So my man Chris status on Gardner Minshew is neither here nor there. Okay.
Neither here nor there. Just
You know
play
what?
5.
You know what? Let's just transition. You know what is fucking here, boys? The Raiders is sitting at number 1.
You enjoy your little ride here, bud.
I'm gonna bask in it.
I don't know if that special teams coach can win you a playoff
He
game.
can, because honestly, he's not
Everyone
coaching the
loves
team.
Bisaccia.
Yeah,
I'd
Rick
still be behind
Bisaccia.
Bisaccia.
Yeah, Grandpa Rich. Get it right. Okay.
The Godfather.
Yeah, the Godfather. So Sigmund, you come to me and you say,
come to me.
mispronounce your name, Godfather. I'm tired of this. Every single time with you. It's ridiculous. I'm tired of this.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I pulled that one out, motherfucker.
I love it.
No, dude. Here's the deal. I said it when Gruden got fired. I was happy about this. I think that was the kick in the ass this team needed. Doesn't hurt that
Gruden just
the
literally has like that name, like it's just enticing. Like, oh, it's John Gruden, but it's like, what is he really?
John Gruden works 15 years ago when guys were all toradoled and coked up.
What?
Like,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
it's-
like, oh yeah, I'll run through a brick wall for you. Like, this is
Knock on wood if you're with me.
yeah, this is still, you know, it's a
He-
different generation of player.
He
And
never
honestly,
really
you see the players start to.
adapted, yeah.
You honestly see some of the players. Like, I feel like Henry Ruggs is just broken out of his shell in the past couple of weeks. Josh Jacobs has talked about how it's quieter on the sidelines. It's a more calm team. I think you give the keys to Derek, let him run the offense with Greg Olson, which Greg Olson did a pretty good job back in 2016 with the Jaguars, running that offense there with Gus Bradley, who is our defense coordinator. So, I don't know. Obviously am optimistic. I'm a fanboy, yada, yada, whatever. But at some point when I'm riding the bandwagon that keeps going the farthest, maybe I'm right. Henry Ruggs is blown up. I like Brian Edwards in the fourth quarter and at select times during the game. He's got to get more consistency, but obviously Hunter Renfro's there for that. Waller, Foster Moreau, Jacobs, Drake, Alec Ingold, Derek Carr. Our offense is killing it. Max Crosby is one of the best defensive ends in the league right now, or I'd say the best defensive end next to obviously what I think Bosa and who else is up there in the 90s in PFF.
I read something that he has 47 pressures on QB, and that was more than 9 other teams have total.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Max is going off. Obviously, once again, I can fanboy all night. There's my piece.
How's the
Go ahead.
remaining schedule look?
Remaining schedule is that we play the Giants coming off of a bye week this week. Then we have the Chiefs, which, once again, hard
probably
matchup on
win.
Sunday night, but Chiefs are looking different. And once again, if you can pass against that team, you can win.
Just put
And we're
Ruggs
doing
on
pretty
Mike
good.
Hughes, and it's game over.
Yeah. The Bengals is all of a sudden looking like a surprising matchup out of nowhere. The Cowboys is going to be a hell of a matchup. Washington, I think we take care of them. We have the Chiefs again. Browns, Broncos, Colts, Chargers. So I'd give it
So you're just worried
7.5.
about the Colts and the Chargers?
No, that's actually going to be a pretty easy December, and that bleak December that we play the Broncos and the Colts back-to-back. So that's going to be a pretty nice, trip to
Easy
the farm
stretch.
right there.
Yeah.
We'll take care of the big horses, and then we'll,
You really just got to prepare for the Chargers, actually.
Yeah, the Chargers are going to be a difficult matchup. The Browns, you never know what you're going to get from them at any specific time. Obviously, with Baker out right now, they're going to flounder, I think, a little bit. But once Baker comes back, there could be a different team. I don't know. Beats the shit out of me, I
Put
think.
20
Be
on it
open
right
against the
now.
Colts.
What?
Colts Raiders.
Okay, yeah, hands down. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm here for
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Easiest
easily.
$20 I've ever won. It's like taking candy from a baby when I bet you.
wait for this one. Why don't you double it up?
See how the confidence
Listen
is
to
going.
fuck
We
you.
gotta
You don't
wait.
have
We gotta wait for
confidence,
some.
you little
We
bitch.
gotta
Fuck
see what
outta here.
injuries happen
You little bitch.
before I double or nothing.
Well,
Like
right
if
now,
I
yeah.
lose Jonathan Taylor next week, I'm not double or nothing that. But if I got Jonathan Taylor going in,
sick
I'll
one.
raise it to 50.
It's 2 months from now.
Such a pussy.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna bet you money on the
It's like
table,
fucking-
all in,
that's
except I'm like half in
stealing
right now.
candy from a baby. Oh, you want to double it? I got weight.
No, that's like literally going and drafting your fantasy football team.
Literally stealing candy
week
from a
one of
baby.
preseason and then losing
No,
half
I got
of it
weight.
to
I
injury.
got
Hey
weight.
Siglin, is that like quoting stats from 2 weeks ago?
I was 1 week. They increased one. They
Did you see
increased
Terry
100.
Bradshaw and
But-
Heinz Ward have been balling this year in Pittsburgh?
It's fucking Chris Week one time. Get
I think
over
he just has
yourselves.
dementia. Are you Benjamin Button?
Are you?
I think he's actually. He probably knows more about football than any of us here. He's
Doesn't
got
know it?
dementia. Yeah, he's got dementia. He's like 85, dude. Look at him. Look at that baby soft skin right there.
Oh,
Fucker's been around forever.
No, I can't stand Cole.
Pardon
Did
my
you see
take,
Martin
they
Luther
were
King
talking
speak in
about
person?
Chris Leak on there, and that was just a name that popped in my head when I was trying to do my take. So
I love you, buddy. But anyways, any word on the Raiders? Are we gonna dog on them? You gonna give them some
No, I
flowers
actually
here?
give them props. I think they have. I've said it last week on the Fantasy Wizard segment. I think that they can finish with the top 5 total defense in the NFL.
At best, they'll win one playoff game.
That's still at best. That's a great year for a Raiders fan.
I think they actually had real expectations, unlike you.
Ravens
Pat
or Bills,
yourself.
AFC.
My team's almost gone to the last 3 Super Bowls.
There's actually a team who beat the Ravens, by the way. I can't remember the name of them.
It's a good thing you guys
Not,
have to
not
play
the
Chicago
Bengals. They
again.
did, though. The Bengals beat them this week. Another team beat the Ravens, though. I can't remember. Anyways.
Nice thing is you can lose and
Who
still
is?
make
Who
the
is?
playoffs.
Do we know
That's fine.
Justin Fields'
fine.
record on the road?
Hey, beat us.
No,
you
that's
worried
why I'm
about
talking.
Fields'
Yeah, he beat
shit,
us.
Sigmund.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's shooting way over your head.
All right, let's
That was
dumb it.
Khalil Herbert more than anything.
All right, let's dumb it down to your
Yeah,
guys'
only
level of
took
the
our
fact if we were going.
It was
We're
like
in the
Peyton.
middle of a hit job by the NFL, and that was level 1 of that. Level 1 is shock, and then you rally together, and then you screw the NFL just like we did in 1983 when we moved to Los Angeles against the NFL's orders, and we actually ended up winning the Super Bowl. Oh God, there's just shades of legendary Raiders teams on this one here, and I'm gonna go ahead and call it right now: Raiders winning the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna go ahead and see that motherfucker live.
Oh, I mean, if they go, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're not going.
It's fine.
I
King of
love
the castle over here. I'm the
King
only
of the
person. I'm the
castle,
only.
king
I'm
of
the
the
only person
castle.
with a fucking positive record at the table here.
We're listening.
It's been too long since your last winning team, bro.
Fucking Valley's most wanted over here. Go Chargies.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to it. Let's go to the AFC South, and
Okay,
Sig,
Uncle
we'll kick
Rico.
right back to you for your State of the Union on your baby horses.
They're the NFL's favorite dark horse to win the Super Bowl. That was reported this morning on Good Morning NFL.
Kay Adams.
So
Let's take a look at the sketty here. So we got
after
a loss to the
Titans,
Seahawks,
We have a pretty open schedule.
and you have wins against the Dolphins, who are 1-6,
Oh.
the Texans, who
My
are
video
1-6 or 1-5. Oh man, again.
I have a good Colts stat for the end.
Perfect.
Wow.
It's a positive one.
I promise you.
It's about Darius Leonard being one of one.
Nope. Team's turnover differential, second in the league. Wentz is taking care of the ball. Crazy. Look, what is Philly doing without Wentz?
Chance Cole, please stop.
Yep. For those who don't know, my favorite NFL player, one of my favorite 2 or 3 NFL players is Carson Wentz. I've never been an Eagles fan, but he's from pretty much West Dakota, just like us here.
He was right on the border, basically.
Damn, Russ got a quadruple double tonight. 10 turnovers.
Oh.
I
He kept trying to lob it to Dwight way too early.
Fucked around and got a quadruple double.
love Russ.
Yeah.
No,
10 turnovers.
No, no,
Maniac.
no one will
Shit.
ever match that.
15 minutes. Minus 10 plus minus ratio. We are back live, and so Siglin, I was just bringing up the fact that this shiny helmet here that you've got instead of a legendary
Do you wanna turn
Cowboys
that-
player.
Turn that around so peeps can see the old signature.
But yeah, we got loss against the Seahawks, real team-ish. Loss against the Rams, real team. Loss against the Titans, real team. Loss against the win against the Dolphins.
If it wasn't for Carson Wentz going out in the very end of that, we could have won that fucker.
Oh, did you guys not play football that week? You guys play some horseshoes? Maybe toss some hand grenades? Nope, almost doesn't count. It's still an L in the book.
Well,
Just like we
Easton
still lost to the
threw a
Chargers
pick
and we
because
still
he's a
lost to the
bitch.
Bears. It's fine. It's cool. It's cool. Excuse Mountain. Escape from Excuse Mountain here. But lost to the Ravens, real NFL team. Win against the Houston Community College Texans. No relation to the Houston Texans of old. And then we have the Niners, who are Jimmy G just quoted as stating he played his worst game ever against. But so there's your excuse for your win there. But anyways, you got the Titans here. You got the New York Community College Super Jets, who might be Zach Wilson list. So watch out for Joe Flacco. And then we have the Jaguars. Bills are going to be a tough matchup, and then you got the Bucks. Texans. God, you guys have a really weak division.
I see 4 games I see 4 games we really got to worry about, and we're always going to end up winning one of those 4 games.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think.
even 2 of them.
Yeah, I think the Jets. I think the Jets. You guys might
I know
win.
what you mean.
No, I'm saying like we might beat the Titans. We might beat the Bills. We could potentially beat the Cardinals if everything stacks up. It just happens. The Colts always do that some weird way. Like against last year versus Green Bay, I had no thought that we were gonna win because Aaron Rodgers just destroys Phillip every time they've ever played. And then somehow we ended up squeaking out and getting that dub.
I think it was
It's just
one of his
something the Colts
17
do.
kids' birthdays.
You guys beat the Packers last year?
Yeah, that Julian Blackman when he hit stick, Lazard he fumbled the ball.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, Laurie wasn't happy.
Listen, even the Lions have beat the Packers before. A wise man once said, "Any given Sunday, really anything can happen."
I'm just saying Carson Wentz is looking more comfortable. I bet if he wasn't playing in those conditions last week, he would have had 600 yards in the air. He was slinging that rock.
600.
You could say that for Jimmy, okay?
The record for passing yards in a game, I believe, is like 535 yards. So 600
Tony.
yards. That's a bold prediction,
Was
Cotton.
it Foles that probably
But
did
no,
it?
I will give you your flowers here. Carson Wentz looks good. I like the Colts as a team. They got grit. I think they're a good team.
And getting
Unfortunately-
Braden Smith and Quentin Nelson back is huge.
Unfortunately, I think where Mike's at is with the Raiders is where I'm at on the Colts. They win maybe one playoff game, but they're a second round out team.
That's I honestly
Once again, they can go to the dance, but I don't think they're going to get on the floor. So
I hate to say this, personally, for selfish reasons,
You don't want to.
I don't want to go to a playoff game.
draft pick.
Yep.
No, you guys should try to win. You got enough talent.
Yeah, I'm tired of 15 years of draft picks. I'm ready to make the playoffs, but maybe that's just me. So, but yeah,
relate.
so the Colts, we can move on to the other bottom dwellers of the division. Between the Texans and the Jaguars, who's more screwed going forward, Lane? You got 1-6 in Houston and 1-5 in Jacksonville.
Tyrod potentially comes back this week, or is it next week?
Soon, yeah.
Yeah, Tyrod's coming back soon.
The
They're
GOAT.
reporting
The
that.
GOAT. We have a rookie card of Tyrod.
We have a lot of Tyrod.
I think it's just, I mean, at this point, it's just age difference. I mean, in the long run, I think the Jaguars have a more promising team, essentially. They have good young stars, even on defense, too. They have Josh Allen on defense, who I like. They still have Miles Jack. They still have some good names on defense, in my opinion.
I think
But,
if Josh Allen gets the chance to leave, he's gone.
well, I mean, I also wouldn't blame him.
Well, they
but-
own it. They own the fifth-year option on him. So I'm gonna get my fat ass out.
Yeah, this motherfucker's struggling over here, twisting and turning. No, I feel you would be like that. Yeah, I would probably say the Texans are probably fucked. I think it's just both of them. They just have this. They can't change the culture.
They both have terrible coaches.
Well, I mean, they're not established. Obviously, the Jags have somewhat of a structure. Or, like, they have something laid out to what they want to go with. The Texans don't know what the fuck's
Well,
going
the
on.
Texans they still had not the greatest team last year, but they were still making noise.
Their
Deshaun
defense-
Watson was leading stuff. And then the whole reason Deshaun Watson wants out is because he couldn't be a part of trying to pick the coach that was going to help lead him for the next years.
Well,
after
they
signing
also
that
got
long-term
rid of his
contract.
number one target.
He was still willing to stay with the Brandon Cooks. He said the final straw that broke his back was the fact that he couldn't be a part of the coaching hiring. He wanted to hire. I think it was Bieniemy, or he wanted someone else, but and they ended up going with the Patriots guy.
I'll be taking that with a fat ass grain of salt.
Just saying. They understand business.
Listen, I think all that we know right now is there's a lot of unknown going on down in Houston.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. This is coming from Mr. Out of fucking pocket, not touching it with a 10-foot pole.
Chill.
A 15-foot pole? Make an outside joke. Take a fucking Steph Curry three-pointer at that one. That's how far I'm sitting
Logo.
away from it, all right? Logo. So I'm going to touch on it
Chill.
just a smidge here. I think the Jaguars are better off. Younger team, most likely to fire Urban Meyer after he gets caught in a Hooters and, I don't know, fucking Winchesterton, Fieldville,
Like,
Iowa.
it's almost bad when you see a man so down bad, like, but he's still there. Like they don't even want to.
Well,
like,
John Gruden completely erased that story. Let's be honest here.
Well,
It's
I
like
mean, yeah.
it's like you want two 20-year-old girls. I'll give you 5,000 racist emails.
Twitter
And
won't let go of it. But yeah, overall, I mean, the bigger headline at the end of the day is going to be Gruden being But I mean, there's already a Halloween costume.
here's my thing with that one too. Once again, should have been done in June. It's a shame that
the
that came
fact
out.
that
No,
they
it-
knew, the
like,
fact
it's a
that
shame
they
that he
knew
said that.
early. It
Yeah.
should have definitely been handled, and the fact that they brought it up that mid-season, like
Like
quarter way
almost
through the
though,
season.
like kind of not think about it though, like because they kind of tried to fuck you guys. Your team obviously rallied around it. In a sense,
Yeah, little did they know we had modern day Jesus as our quarterback.
He's
lead
having a
the
year.
troops.
Yeah, he's having a year.
So Derek Carr's just the nicest dude alive. I'm not riding that high of a Derek Carr bandwagon. Obviously, this year is he a top 5 quarterback in play this specific year? Yes. Does he move into the top 10? I think with his play this year into consideration. Yeah, I think he does. But
I do respect the fact that he's actually much better than his brother.
well, he's actually
He actually got a
yeah. Derek learned one thing that David didn't. Throw the ball fucking fast. He actually, I think he's top 7 right now in the NFL. The last I checked, which was yesterday,
what?
I think it was 6th in fastest release time for throws. And this last week, this last week, I know he was number 1 against the Eagles. Sigling one day is way different than 2 weeks when we're talking Wednesday to Tuesday compared to
Just saying.
about a week ago. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously,
Squints over here.
Mike, what do you think? Jags, Texans. We'll kind of bump on there, and then we'll scoot to the Titans, move out of the division here.
I think these two are going to be competing with the Lions for the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm going to take Jags, maybe win 3 or 4 games. Houston, maybe 2 or 3.
What's the remainder of the Jags schedule look like?
Quite irrelevant.
The NFL, which for a community college team is pretty
I mean, even Urban said it. Every week's against Bama.
It's like playing Alabama every single week. I gotta go back to my hometown and talk to some college
about? They got the
girls.
Seahawks, Bills, and Colts.
They could potentially beat Seattle, is what I was about to say.
No. Geno's played some good ball against some solid teams.
Yeah, respect Geno Smith a little bit here. At this point, he's gone from shit on draft pick to honestly respected backup.
I'm just going against Seattle's secondary.
Yeah.
Seattle's secondary is
So
terrible.
once again, I'm going to reiterate the fact that they also beat the Steelers and the.
I mean, once again, it's the
Saints.
NFL. Realistically, any team can win any
Oh,
week.
yeah,
It's
my
not
God, any given
unrealistic,
Sunday.
but to just say when you say outright pick them,
I'm not saying I pick them. I'm saying that's one I could see they could potentially win if everything played right. Like if Trevor Lawrence was balling out,
Going on the
throwing
road
on
to
all
see. If they're
cylinders.
playing in Jacksonville, maybe.
But
they're
also
going into
another one of the
Seattle.
biggest things is not having Chark is really gonna.
Is really
affect
hurting them.
The rest of their
well, and I
season.
don't think Chenault's really broken out the way anybody wanted him to. So
That's tough because Lawrence still just has to find his groove too. Like
Oh.
he's made some fucking plays, but
the team just needs to keep driving through, keep making mistakes, and you'll grind them out just like they did against the Dolphins this last week.
tough
So
if you're a Jags fan because you know there's potential. It's just going to be a couple years till you actually see some
Yep.
like solid, consistent, like oh shit, we can actually play.
which is rough because it looked like a handful of years ago they were one of the brightest.
They
young
were
teams in the
they
NFL.
were one game
Yep.
away from the fucking big one.
Mhm.
From the show.
I actually love that Jaguars defense too. They were some dogs.
Calais.
God, they were fun to watch.
No, they weren't.
Lenny
That was a
running
pretty
that
a pretty
thing.
fun Jags team.
He
to
just
watch.
hates it because they had a good Andrew Luck Colts team, but a great Jaguars
Jaguars
team
team.
was a little bit better that year. So, but
Feeling
speaking
happy.
of
We
the
took the
boys
wild
who
card.
I think are at this point almost anybody can agree is probably going to win the division, but hey, we ain't locking anything in after week 7. But Tennessee Titans at 5-2 right now. Derrick Henry looks like the best throwing running back.
I was just gonna say
Um,
2 QBs.
Yeah, dude, that touch pass was beautiful. First off.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I think Derrick Henry's looking fantastic. He has my vote for MVP because I
Potentially
go
for
on.
3K.
Yeah, I don't know about this year. Maybe
25.
I think he breaks the rushing record. Honestly,
for sure.
I think
Well,
he breaks
yeah,
the
the
rushing
extra
record.
game.
Yeah,
Listen, another thing
record's
too,
done
though,
for.
like the next couple years or so, like with this extra week being involved, like the records are gonna start popping off again here soon, in my opinion. On
well, in
certain
15,
things.
20 years, I think you'll start seeing the next generation start breaking the long-time records too. Ooh, smoke
Yep.
cloud. Gotcha, Mike.
So I think Tom could potentially go for Brady or for Manning's 55 this year.
Maybe somebody could. They get hot, have a couple of 4 or 5 games.
What is Brady at right now? He's
21 through 7 games.
Yeah,
Is Manning even top 3 all time?
still yes.
Yeah, because I think it goes
I just
Manning.
wanted
It
to
goes.
see
It
his
goes.
name.
Brady, Breeze, Manning.
No, I was talking about like GOAT conversation
Oh.
Oh yeah, always.
and Siglins, mind you.
Mm,
Yes.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't. I think Brady firmly holds that spot at this point. I think it's honestly starting to get like Jordan in basketball. Like you can kind of argue LeBron a little bit, and you can start throwing these conversations in there. But the majority of people are really going to start believing that Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time.
I mean, you have to.
You almost have to. Like
Even Siggy
See,
said
our
after
thing
last
is
that's
like-
a. Hey, don't even
Thing
start.
is,
Don't
is
even
you
start.
didn't get to see like Tom Brady's rookie struggles. He didn't come in until after 2 years in the league.
I don't know. He's pretty much been in the league like literally since the day we were born. 4 years after.
But I'm saying he had to be an injury. He wasn't like the guy to start. I understand like the whole 6 round story and everything, but I'm just saying like I wish we would have been able to see that struggle year kind of knocked those numbers down a little bit.
What about Herbo? Herbo came in because of injury.
You don't think the years he
One
passed for like
game,
28
stabbed in the
2,800 yards, 21
That's-
touchdowns,
that's
and
'cause of
13 picks
injury.
is like, like
Yeah.
his.
That's because of
But
injury.
it's just like you gotta think about how irrelevant Drew Bledsoe is.
All right,
He got
all right,
shut
all right.
out by
We're-
two great
We're
quarterbacks
not.
in this
Once
fucking-
again, we're not talking Tom Brady here, Siglin. Reel it in.
Oh,
Reel it in.
Siglin.
But the Titans, though, honestly, defense is starting to look good. I think this last week, I'm not looking too much into the Chiefs win. It's a good win. Once again, though, I think against that defense, though, I think there's almost an asterisk sitting next to the 27 points. That defense actually stood up for the Chiefs, and what's kind of been a weak point this year. I mean, they've outscored that. Only the Colts held them to under 27 points. The Jets held them to 27 points too, which they lost to the Jets. That was a shocker of a game, but also this offense has been cooking.
Revenge game.
Yeah. Well, I guess the Cardinals got held them to 13 points. Sorry, I missed that one there. But honestly, throughout the season here, the Titans, I think, are a good team. I still think the AFC is honestly up for grabs. There isn't like one front runner I think the NFC, everybody talks about the Cardinals kind of right now as the number one team. In the AFC, I mean, the Titans are sure in the conversation, but
Yeah, I say Titans
Yeah.
take it. Should go to the North.
let's do the North. All right, this most surprising division because it's close. You have the Bengals and the Ravens right now. Obviously, the Bengals with the win this week own the tiebreaker, one of the most shocking teams of the year in a pleasant way. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are cooking right now. The Ravens, obviously, slow start, losing to the Raiders, and then almost losing to the Lions, if not for a Herculean kick from Justin Tucker. But, yeah, I'm pulling up the schedule here for the Ravens now because I forgot who else they lost to. Oh, no, the Bengals this last week. So Bengals, Raiders. So the Ravens have lost to two playoff teams now. The Browns, a little bit of an up and down ride here, obviously. Losing to the Chiefs, a lot of injuries, losing to the Chargers, losing to the Cardinals. So three of the best teams in the NFL still by talent. Decent wins, but Texans, Bears, Vikings, Broncos. I'd say it's like a 4 on a scale of 10, like strength of schedule there.
Was impressive considering how many people were out.
Oh, yeah.
Also true. Dearest.
And then Pittsburgh, once again, you have Bills, Broncos, Seahawks. The Bills win looks really good in retrospect because I think that was, once again, the fire starter for the Bills because they've looked unstoppable since then. Obviously, losses to the Raiders, Bengals, Packers. That's, kind of tough to do. Pittsburgh's kind of looking between. It depends which Big Ben you get each week, honestly.
Yeah, it's tough to tell anymore.
Summarizing the division here just because we kind of drug on the first two, who do you guys see actually pulling out of this division here?
I think Cincinnati is for real. I think Zach Taylor's kind of figured it out. Everyone wanted to laugh him out of the league last year. I think he just kind of got struck with. He had some people that were injured that didn't get to play, some opt-outs. Joe Burrow going down a little over a third through the year is kind of a big deal. And now that the fact that they have all the weapons and they're starting to produce, they have one of the scariest receiving corps in the NFL, I believe, in my opinion.
Well, that was known going into it, but
Well, I think even going into the draft, you talked about, if they had Jamar
and,
Chase.
even like their tight end, though, like he's even proven to be something
Well,
a little
he's-
more special than he has the previous
well,
years.
he's a reliable target. Yeah, he's not like
Well, and also the money they invested in the offseason, too.
Kelsey.
Well, there's only really 3 top tight ends in the NFL here when
saying,
you're talking about it. There's Kittle, Kelsey, Waller. I mean,
he's not
and
like
after
an
that,
elite
there's a
factor,
drop
but
off.
He's a reliable target.
Yeah, no
like-
matter how many people want to put like T.J. Hawkinson at number 4, it's a steep drop from 3 to 4. 1, 2, 3 is debatable.
I would put Fant above Hawkinson, I think.
Well, okay, whoever you put there, there's still a steep drop from 3 to 4. There's still a steep drop. But the Bengals, once again, Joe Burrow's almost at 2,000 passing yards. He's, I believe, 3rd in the NFL. Let's check the stream here because I have it literally 4th in the NFL with 17 touchdowns right now. So cooking with Jamar Chase deep. Obviously, Joe Mixon, 539 yards and 4 tutties. He's, 3rd in the NFL, I think, in rushing? 4th.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to
Third,
see that team
4th.
actually healthy for once and being able to play together.
Well, and they're young, too. Like
Yeah.
CJ Azuma, at tight end is really kind of broken out there. The only thing is injuries because Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and Jabbar Chase as their receivers are their top 3 options. Then there's not another receiver on this list until Auden Tate. Decent option there, but, I mean, Auden Tate, Mike Thomas, not New Orleans Mike Thomas, and then Trent and Irwin. So, once again, everything's always barring injuries. A couple injuries can take a team
solid
out. But
4 because Mixon's
Yeah.
a solid run or catching back, but
I think the Ravens are still the Ravens. I mean, they're kind of the same team we knew them of last year. They can run the ball.
They've been playing
Lamar's going to be
very well with injuries.
Yeah, everybody's going to call Lamar out for not passing. He's going to pass well. He's going to be an MVP candidate.
I still think
I think injuries is just their biggest bug is they have a lot of players who are out for the season who are impact players, and if those backups can keep stepping up, awesome. But
I think Ravens.
you think the Ravens are going?
I think the Ravens take the division still. They're just a little bit more solidified still. I think the Bengals still have some hiccups throughout the year, but they're coming together and playing some amazing ball. But there's also teams that are going to adjust to them too, in my opinion.
I think both of them will make the playoffs. One will take the division. One will be the wild card.
I definitely see 2, if not 3 teams making it from the AFC North, honestly. I could see 3 teams making it. The only thing I'd say is if the Chiefs, Raiders, or Chargers fall off, 3 teams would make it. But honestly, the AFC West, I think, also hosts 2 teams. AFC West has to host 2 teams there. Yeah. And honestly, once again, I'm not going to completely shit on the Colts. The Colts could turn it around, and I think they're a 6 or a 7 seed. They're definitely a wild card, but I think they're a 6 or 7 wild card. They squeak in one of those probably 9-8 finishes. They got a favorable record going forward. So
I remember Eli won it in the 6th seed.
Eli's also.
Carson Wentz has a Super Bowl ring. But yeah, no love to the Browns or Steelers. Moving on to the AFC
Ryan Leafy paved the way.
East. The Buffalo Bills do own only a 1.5 game lead, even though it seems like a large 1.5 game lead. Can you two stop flirting over here? I'm going to make you two
This
sit apart like a
motherfucker.
teacher.
Let's talk about Ryan Leaf.
But
Sig has some takes.
the AFC East, which has nothing to do with Ryan Leaf,
Oh no.
is
we're
the
still-
Buffalo Bills once again 4-2, 3-4 for the Patriots, and then the Jets and the Dolphins are going down to the ACC after this. So, is there a realistic world where the Patriots and Mac Jones rally around? Because once again, they're 3-4 plus 39.
Can we see the remaining schedule?
It's a smart move. Can't be mean to him about every. Okay, you can. But.
Buffalo Bills, first in the
So
NFL.
Chargers, I'm gonna give them an L on. The Panthers, I want them to win against the Chargers. Don't get me wrong, love to see it, but don't think it's gonna happen. Panthers have been a broken team ever since McCaffrey's gotten out, so I think that's a win for them. Browns,
Might be back that week.
Browns, you never know. The Falcons, once again, that's a toss-up.
They're
I
kinda
think.
clicking.
Titans, Bills, Colts, honestly, Bills, and then again, I think are all losses, and then you finish with Jaguars, Dolphins. So
I see 2 wins, maybe 3 in there.
I see one for sure. That's against the Colts.
so 4 wins
Um,
puts them
You're
at 7 and
fucking
10.
Wrong, bud.
Honestly, though, I think one thing that, like, they have a solid team. They still have a solid defense, too, but Bill's just such a smart fucking coach. They have such a good coaching staff, in my opinion. It's still what makes that team so lethal, is they can drop a good game plan and usually execute. But we'll see. It's tough with the rookie quarterback, so I like Mac. I think he's
the best prepared
He's-
quarterback, and I think we kind of almost anticipated that coming out. You have a guy
Bam
who
is
spent
known for
5
that.
He
years.
just doesn't have numbers.
Well, he spent 5 years in a prestigious program. He spent time learning behind good quarterbacks in Tua and Jalen Hurts. So coming into the NFL, I think he's the most prepared. I think he's the hardest working quarterback, like in that room. I think what you're talking about, Mac Jones, is what you talk about. You epitomize in Tom Brady. Not saying that the comparison's there early on, but obviously you desire that kind of trait of a guy who walks into the building and takes the starting job day one. I think Mac's performed the best. I mean, Jamar Chase is Rookie of the Year, but if they were to for some reason give it to a quarterback, I think Mac Jones is obviously the one head and shoulders above the rest of the rookies right now. And
Oh,
if
it's not
there's a
even
chance for
close.
a rookie to start right now in the playoffs, not as a backup replacement, it's Mac. So. But once again, I think the Bills just steamroll to that division title. They're kind of back on their bullshit again. Once again, Josh Allen's playing good. So
I'm taking Bills in that one.
How about the Dolphins just complete fall off from like last year, rallying around?
ooh, all right,
Thinking about
quick take. Once again, touching it. Let me grab the 15-foot pole here. Does Voldemort, he who shall not be named, go to Miami?
I think he ends up in Carolina, honestly.
Really? The floor is yours.
That's just what they were reporting yesterday on NFL Network. They said it's either Carolina or it's
Yeah, I don't trust hot take
Miami.
reporters. You realize, yeah. Okay, I want you to visualize 50 monkeys, and then every single monkey is taking an individual animation of reaching behind them, taking their excrement, and throwing it out there. That is the national sporting news. Once again, you throw enough darts at balloons, you're going to fucking pop one, all right? Even if you're blindfolded. Once again, I think Miami, just from an asset standpoint, makes sense. From a young talent standpoint, makes sense. And as a panic standpoint, makes sense. Because this team, I think everybody almost had, kind of squeaking into the playoffs after a 10-6 finish last year. So
I can maybe see Carolina as like a very, very
and yes,
dark
Sigmund, I saw the
horse.
reports. You don't have to look up the reports. I saw it. But once again, I'm just saying, like, the NFL
Realistically-
Network will... Once again, this is the same team that's reported trade rumors for Derek Carr for 5 years. And then on top of that, our head coach is the one that goes first. Derek Carr's starting in Vegas until he
It just doesn't
dies.
make sense to
Yeah,
me. It's their first
just
year
saying.
with Darnold, and he's actually played some solid fucking ball. Like, he looks like what he was supposed to be, essentially coming out of college. Like,
He's kind
Once
of
again, they
and
have some
a
injury
solid-
issues,
they
but
have,
yeah.
they have a solid squad.
And
They-
their
they-
defense is really good, too. So
They've lost every game since McCaffrey's
I think
been
Carolina, once again, they're going to sniff the waters, but I think any GM sniffs the waters. Like, you call about them. Shit, I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders gave a call about Deshaun Watson just to take a look. Hey,
It's
even
Deshaun
swap.
Watson, yeah. You're going to sniff. I mean,
Wait, yes? No, we were just kidding. LOL, click.
everyone's sniffing something.
But
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Dude, an NFL GM's job is to be 100% non-biased and to build the best roster possible, no matter what rumors get the fuck out there. So
Even Saban said he was never going to Bama. All right.
yeah, never trust anybody.
And was it Cliff that said that Josh Rosen was their guy before they drafted him? Remember it?
yeah.
Rosen's our guy. Good times.
So I know that Deshaun has a no trade clause, and the only team he is approved to be traded to is Miami. So, for what it's worth,
Yeah. No, I think.
he could change his mind and say I would
Which sucks
be
because
okay
Tua's
with.
actually coming back from injury. Like according to PFF, he's been like percentage. I forget what the other stats were. But
He's like top 3
Yep.
percentage.
Once
In all
again,
three, it
give
was
the
like
young
the third.
guys time to play. Give head coaches time to coach, and give the young guys time to play. Dude, Tua hasn't had a solid start, and Brian Flores did not do him any favors last year, benching him in the middle of a playoff run for Ryan Fitzpatrick. If you're gonna give the kid the keys to the kingdom,
Give him the keys.
don't be surprised when he crashes the car a couple times. All right, like I'm gonna keep making these analogies and these shit cliches, but seriously, like give young quarterbacks time to play ball.
Listen, you want to go
But
to
honestly,
Taylor's.
yeah, tell a brother you want to go to Taylor's, but I think Deshaun Watson's still going to go to Miami, which is fine because then Tua will get his nice fresh head start in Houston with Brandon Cooks and that absolute ass Texans roster.
I'm pretty
That
sure
just
I read
sucks.
something that they didn't want Tua.
Maybe they
Once
do.
Like he's not part of the package.
Tua
They'd
to
have trade
Denver?
Tua somewhere else.
Would you take Tua? I think you would.
Mike would
Yes.
absolutely take Tua.
Mike would.
Tua would look good in orange. I think. I'm all aboard Denver just getting a better quarterback. So any quarterback to Denver season is what I'm about. We'll only have to play him one more time, so that's fine with me. But yeah, out of the AFC here, as we summarize it, we move on to the second half of our broadcast. Who do you guys have winning the AFC? Obviously, I made my bold prediction. Obviously, I'm wearing a Raiders jersey. At this point, I'm backing it up. Raiders take the AFC.
Bills or the Chargers?
I'm gonna say at this point, I'm actually gonna go Bills.
Baltimore.
There we go. All right. Moving on, gentlemen. We started in the West. Let's go back to it. The NFC West, one of the harder divisions in football. I think we estimated might have been a little bit tougher than it's turned out, though.
Some injuries.
Yep, some injuries have the Seahawks sitting at 2-5, Niners at 2-4, the Rams at 6-1 after a hot start, but the Cardinals are the talk of football at 7-0. So yeah, let's start in the basement here. The Seahawks, can they rebound even when Russ comes back? Because rough stretch here.
Yeah, they're already 4 games behind second.
I mean, they're 2-2. They're 2-2, but obviously Russ goes out in that game against the Rams.
You guys
So-
know what's the worst part?
I think they're fucked because
They don't even get this draft pick.
Wait, who?
They don't even get their draft pick.
Thank you, Jamal
Seattle.
Adams.
Oh yeah.
Blitz boy.
Yep.
The end.
So yeah, the defensive end who plays safety. So, but here's the schedule coming up. I think the Jaguars is a winnable game. The Packers is going to be a hard one. Obviously, the Cardinals is looking like an L. Washington's winnable. The Niners are winnable. The Texans is winnable. Rams are an L, but then you have Bears, Lions, and then Cardinals again. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winnable games. So 7 wins, 8 wins against the Jaguars.
I don't like their odds.
I don't like them, but once again, never say never. And the wild card for that 7 spot can always get dicey, especially in a 17-game season. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to kind of take that dive.
We know 2's not coming out of the NFC least, so.
Are we counting Russell coming back? Is he coming back soon?
I don't think it's going to be a
Because
couple
if
more
not,
weeks.
it's curtains.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're already 4 games behind second. Like, and if the Rams and or Cardinals just beat
I
them
think
once,
if they get too far back, they should shut Russ down for the rest of the season and just let him completely rehabilitate it. But if Geno squeaks out, 2 or 3, and they have a shot for a wild
this
card,
is
then
their
you bring
last
Russ
week
back.
to close that window.
5 days ago, Russell Wilson's finger is expected to have the pin removed in his middle finger within the next week. Throw left-handed, pussy.
It's going to be at least a couple weeks.
You know he's running those 2-minute drills by himself, so.
I don't know. I think the Seahawks, I'm going to write them off for the season here. I think even with coming up, they probably, even if they win one of the losing games, that they're going to lose one of those winnable games.
The Rams have 2 of the
They literally have to have
defensive
it work.
players
Yeah.
that we've almost
Well,
seen
they have to play
in
the
this.
Cardinals twice still, too. Like, that's the hard part is you literally have to play the best team in football. Even if they do lose J.J. Watt for the year, I still think the Cardinals. Yeah. I think the Cardinals are still the best team in football right now. They're my pick to win the division. I think the Rams, honestly.
acquisition of Zach Ertz was huge.
Oh, I don't. It was a big deal, but I don't think people are honestly talking enough about it. Ertz has a lot of football left in him, and what that team needed was a tight end.
It's one of those positions that doesn't really die either. You saw fucking Antonio Gates almost going to 40, still being relevant. You know what I mean? Like
He was a different breed. Him and Tony G were like the top 2 tight ends for years.
AFC West built different.
Julie Ertz, Olympic gold medalist.
No, I like Cardinals coming out. The Cardinals and Rams are just too well established on both sides of the ball for Seattle to have any sort of chance to come back from already 4 games behind.
Well, let's touch on the Niners before we move on here. The Niners, where do you guys see them going forward? 2 and 4. I mean, they're just a mixed bag.
At this point, I would just give the reins to fucking Trey and ride
He's
her
out
out.
for a couple more weeks. That's
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, ride it out with Jimmy for this year. Play for a fucking pick. I mean, build around Trey. Get a bigger pick. Build around Trey.
Well, you got Bears. Could be a win, but honestly, I think Justin Fields could really take this team. We'll start talking about the Bears here shortly. The Bears are not out of it at all.
They're not giving up. Yeah, they're gonna keep fighting.
So,
Which no one should give up quite yet, but except for the Niners.
except for the Niners.
Except for the Niners. If there was a team, it would be them.
Well, all right. So we're giving up on the Niners, but we're moving on to let's get back to the fucking standings
The
here.
Rams.
I think we kind of talked about the Cardinals, Rams, playoff
Yeah.
teams. We'll cover the playoffs here in a second.
That's
Let's go to the NFC South. Here's your chance to talk about Tom Brady, Siglin. The Buccaneers are a game and a half ahead at 6-1. The Saints are at a surprising 4-2. The Falcons and the Panthers. Falcons are at 3-3. Panthers are at 3-4. Honestly, I still think this division could possibly be up for grabs if something happens for the Buccaneers. I think the Bucs do take the division. There could be some interest coming from one of these 3 teams down here.
Atlanta's a weird team, man. So is Carolina, because they started out fucking hot, but they've just been obviously going on a streak of losses. The South is very surprising, especially with the Saints at 4-2. Their defense is a big part of that. Their offense has had some games, but their offense didn't look good against Seattle, which is a terrible defense.
Carolina?
No, the Saints
Saints.
offense against the Seattle's defense.
You get over there, Siggy?
Yeah, and then breathing all fucking.
Yeah.
You notice that even?
Well, Alyssa texted me and said, Siglin looks like he ate too much Taco Bell and might explode.
That's just.
And she said Mike looks like he wants to murder somebody, but I think that's just your face.
I think that's just for. I think
I'm
we're
just
good.
waiting my turn to
Yeah,
talk.
she was just talking. She's talking shit behind the scenes. It's fine.
You're
It's what we do.
right. I
So,
love it. I
but
love it.
yeah,
No, I think the Falcons are a very surprising team. That division is weird, actually. Now that we kind of bring that up, I never thought about that.
So as we talk about the Falcons, when do you think it's Matty Ice's time is over?
Anytime he's underrated, they're clicking now, bro. Like
I think Matt
Matty
Ryan.
is one of the most underrated QBs still, in my opinion, in the league.
I think Matt's manageable. Honestly, what I see out of him is he's a late career quarterback. He can still sling the ball, but honestly, it's awfully bold that you sat on the hill of Phillip
Well, if
Rivers, but then
Matt-
you dog Matt Ryan.
I'm not saying that, but Matt Ryan literally said last year that he was willing to step back and take a Matt Schaub style role. He was like, if they want to bring a new guy in here, I'm going to do my best to try to set him up for success the way Matt Schaub handed me the reins.
It doesn't mean just
So like what I'm saying.
Doesn't mean he's gonna lay over and die.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
pretty much sounds
I'm
like he was
saying
willing
if
to
you
give up.
take him and you put him on a team like what you did with Stafford, like a playoff contending team that's actually established on both sides of the ball, Matt Ryan could be a part of a playoff contending team that could actually make a deep run, in my opinion.
I think a couple years ago, maybe. I just don't think he has arm strength anymore.
And a statue too.
He's a statue in the pocket. I think the
Yeah,
Falcons
well,
are
yeah,
the
with
Falcons
that,
are
yeah.
limited. I mean, I'm not going to talk about them as Super Bowl contenders, but I think they'd be my most.
He has a shitty online. I mean, we got to give him that.
They'd be my second most likely to sneak in. I think the Panthers right now are really struggling. I don't know if they find their groove is my thing, honestly. I think the Falcons have the lowest ceiling, but I still think that ceiling is the playoffs. The Saints, though, the Saints just get it done. I think Sean Payton is one of those. He's one of those Belichick types
He's a
that's
good
honestly
coach.
just going to make his team better. Yeah, he's going to make
Which
whatever
is
team
weird,
he has
'cause
better.
usually we see that team struggle in the beginning of the year.
Well, and look at their schedule remaining. So they have the Bucks coming up. Hard game, going to give them an L there. But then they have Falcons, Titans. They have a hard stretch, but then you got the Eagles. Bills is going to be a hard one. Cowboys. You got the Jets, Bucks again, Dolphins, Panthers, Falcons to end the year. So once again, just like the kind of New Orleans Saints have been a mixed bag.
Division games in the last 4 weeks. That's big.
3 division games, but against 2 of the weaker opponents that you're honestly, neck and neck with. You still have the Falcons twice. Obviously looking to avenge a loss to a Panthers team, but it really all depends when CMC comes back.
That's right. The Panthers did beat him the first time.
So I don't know. South is a mixed bag, but I think we all agree Buccaneers
Bucks are near
winning.
taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
North?
All right, middle bit here. Let's take it up to the north here.
The North,
Okay. Okay there, bud. So in the NFC North here, we have the Green Bay Packers. Go Packers here at 6-1. Aaron Rodgers is looking hot after that little slip up against the Saints in Week 1. We have the Minnesota Vikings. Once again, those Vikes, they sure haven't the bets cause me fits. They're 3-3 right now with a 500 record. The Chicago Bears. Go Bears. Justin Fields is the future of the Bears. Justin Fields, he's going to stay the quarterback for about 20 to 25 years. He's going to break all of Tom Brady's records. And I think he's going for at least 9, if not 10 Super Bowls, okay?
Sound like a real Chicago fan.
And then you have the Detroit Lions, who are just, I love the Lions, but goddamn it, why are they 0-7 right now? Victims
the
of
best 0-7.
best 0-7 team ever. They're spunky, but I mean, once again, the Ravens lost.
They've lost some
Hella
good
hurt.
close games.
Vikings was close on a last-second field goal.
19-17
So
twice.
When do the Lions win, though?
If this Lions team goes 0-16, would the other 0-16 Lions team, which one would win?
This one.
Well, I
I'm
don't know.
taking this one.
Stafford.
Well, if they're 0-16, they're probably 0-17 because they're playing the Packers week 18. But this Lions team hands down wins
That's
it
what
because
got
once
him
again,
Stafford, right?
it's the season that got him Stafford. You're talking like
It was Orlovsky, wasn't it?
yeah, or Orlovsky like run and Chad Henne running out of the back of the end zone and shit like that, like crazy shit.
I remember watching that. Like the Lions were like just tough to watch.
And let me tell you, boy, there was some wild times back in 08. Was Dante Culpepper even around for like those years, or was that even earlier Lions? Yeah, I think
Jason Campbell.
Yeah, Dan Campbell has the tenacity of someone who was a part of those teams.
Play on the Lions?
I don't think it was the 0-17 year.
No, it was probably earlier. It was
16.
earlier 2000s.
Well, Dan Campbell played. I mean, he played
Wasn't he
for
like
like
a-
the Saints in like 2010. I think he was a part of their Super
No, he
Bowl
played
team.
that.
Look at that main right there.
Yes, he
Detroit
was
Lane.
on
He
the-
was on the 08 team. He was on the 08
Right.
team, and he was the interim coach for the Lions in 2011
And that
when
shows
they
him,
fired.
shows him in the Miami Dolphins.
So he played on the 08 team and coached on the 11 team.
He coached on the 11 Dolphins
Dolphins
team, but
yeah.
he played on the 08 Lions team, so he was on the winless Lions team. Oh, that's where the grit comes from. Yeah. When you go into a winless team, then he came to the Saints the next year. And
Weren't you trying? I thought you were talking about Jason. I thought you were trying to figure out Jason Campbell.
like the Raiders, Jason Campbell.
Yeah, what?
I thought you were asking about the old football team quarterback.
I'm at Joe Montaigne.
That brother's been all over. He just wasn't the football team's quarterback. He played in the Browns.
That's just like where
the
that's where I
Bears.
would.
Dude, Jason
say he
Campbell
spent
was a
most-
That
county
brother's
doorknob
been all
cornerback.
over. I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Everybody
That's
had a
who
term
I
with
thought
Jason
you were
Campbell,
talking
all right?
about when you were talking about Campbell.
Jason Campbell can send like 20
probably played in the
kids to
Texans.
school on Jersey Day, all right? Just kidding. He's probably not
Phillip
that bad.
Rivers. Consent.
No, who was
He's only had 2
McCown.
years. He's chill.
Yeah, Josh McCown. But
Fitzmagic.
anyways, back on track here. The Lions, because I think we agree that the Packers are winning the division. The Bears and the Vikings we'll talk about in a second. But the Lions, when do you realistically see them winning a game? Because the Eagles could be a dub this week, but even after that, I don't know until.
Yeah, I feel like they just almost need some sort of motivation. Last week it was against Stafford, so that's why they came out so hot. And I guess it was a Goff revenge game in a sense too. But
Maybe the Steelers.
I could see that one just for shits and grins, just because I'd like to see Big Ben lose.
I don't know.
Like if you're just like if we're looking at that and we're saying like.
I hope it's the Bears, just because it's the Bears. And I want to say something to Ducky.
It's fucked up.
They're only 3.5-point underdogs to the Eagles this Sunday.
They don't play any of our other homies teams until then, so.
Oh.
I'd rather him beat the Vikings. Rather talk shit to Zach for ditching us this week.
All right, bros. Speaking of the Bears. The Bears are at 3-4 right now. Moving on, looking at the schedule going forward.
They're playing for.
They need to get some linemen. That's what they need. They need a line to protect their young buck back there.
Well, here's at some point too that they're gonna have to refurbish that defense because a couple of them boys are getting a little bit older.
Get them some offensive weapons other than.
Well, look at who's actually playing up to their contract right now. Like I feel like a lot of the Bears players are not exactly the guys at the top of the salary cap list.
What did they just
Just
pay?
saying.
Hicks
Allen
the other
Robinson?
year? I think A-Rob's. Well, speaking of which, where would he go or would he stay?
I don't think he stays after this year.
No, I think he's done after
I
this
think
year.
he's
Yeah.
just
I think so.
like, I've fucking tried this ride too long.
Which sucks because he's played on the Jaguars and now he's played in the Bears. Like it's just go
I
somewhere.
also think he
relevant.
needs to switch back to 15. There's something about AR-12 that just doesn't have a ring to it. It's not as flashy.
He doesn't need to be flashy. He's balling.
But dude, AR-15.
It's very politically triggering.
AR-15 in the Jags, he was like one of the best receivers for 3 years straight. You can't deny it
That's fair enough.
because I had to hear about it every day from Brock when he used to be a Jags fan.
So in Brock's opinion, he was the best.
No, he would pull the stats out.
So
He
from
was-
the guy who switched teams.
That's who Siglin's gonna ride with. I mean, just believe it or
I'm
not.
not right.
So I was
I'm
talking
saying
to
just
this
in, like,
homeless
pure
guy who was
stats.
balancing quarters on his forehead, and he was giving me stock planning advice. So I think I'm gonna invest all my money in Pigeon Fly Mobile.
I think you should
It's a
do that.
penny stock company out of the Philippines. They specialize in
Siggy
in
Sports.
in 2 cups with a string together.
This fucking look at that. It's just.
Caramel.
Oh my god.
he's
it's
juiced.
disgusting.
He's juiced up on it.
I'm not drinking caramel. I'm getting most ice cream. The caramel
It's just like Anyways,
Tossing it up here though, Vikings Bears. Who finishes better? I like the Vikings long term just because I think you know what you're getting there. You're getting Pastor Kirk
yeah,
and
well, you
his
have
uber talented
established-
offense around
You have
him.
established the
You
offense,
have
yeah.
a tougher schedule though.
I mean, yeah. As far as out of
They still
divisional
have a-
opponents, you got Cowboys, Ravens, Chargers. Holy shit, Packers. God, that's a tough. You know the Vikings pull out one of those games.
Yeah.
Being the Vikings, they pull out one of those games,
The
and I hope
Packers
it's
game.
here against the Chargers.
I mean, I hope so too.
I hope it's against the Ravens for the Cincinnati sake. Just
Yeah.
to keep that game common.
No, Vikings will finish better, but I love it. What are you doing, Step Bro?
Oh, jeez, gotcha. Anyways, sorry, we get distracted. We're children. Dude, honestly, the Bears might pull it out. Justin Fields starts playing better, but that's just a hard schedule because as far as, like, you got the Niners, Lions, Steelers that are winnable games, the Bears twice, which is winnable, but, I mean, you got the Packers twice, you got the Rams, the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Cowboys.
When do the Bears finally fire Matt Nagy?
Never.
I
He
think-
stays
I
the
think-
coach
I think
for
they're
all
gonna try and ride it out
eternity.
Before they realize that, yeah, that's a part of the problem.
If they want
He got Fields
them to do
murdered that first
anything, they
week he
need to
started.
get rid of him as soon as possible. He can't run an offense.
It's coach firing season.
He's claimed to give up the play calling duties and other stuff. I mean, if you can't run an offense, why are you trying to run the football team?
Because Rich Bisaccia lets Derek Carr run the team, but then again, I wouldn't let Justin Fields run the team as a rookie. So, but I don't know. Once again, the Packers. This week without Devontae Adams, tough week against the Cardinals, but honestly, Aaron Rodgers once again looks like Aaron Rodgers. I don't think there's any surprises there. Do they make it past the NFC Championship game? We will see.
They're kryptonite.
Now to move on, because we are on ESPN.com following these divisions. So ESPN's most talked about division of all time, because it's so important of all time, is the NFC East, to which the Cowboys hold a commanding 3.5 game lead. Why do we care about the NFC East, boys? Trick question. We don't.
I see only the Cowboys making the playoffs. Washington's defense has absolutely shit the bed this year. They went from being top 10 to 32nd.
Yeah, they currently have the most points allowed with 210. Negative 64-point differential, which is...
And they didn't lose anybody. That's like the biggest thing.
Oh, the defense just flopped off.
Yeah.
I mean, the Eagles are having a rough stretch of it. I think the Giants are going through growing pains too. The Cowboys have just found their niche and they're rolling. This is exactly what the NFC East has been predicted to be the past 10 years. It's just the Cowboys being good. It's
Giants
finally
just
coming to
don't have
fruition.
Eli
Yeah.
anymore. That's just what it is.
Yeah, that one just kind of speaks for itself.
No Eli
Yeah.
on the Giants. No one else is going out of there.
But all right, let's go ahead and talk about America's Queens, the Cowboys, because the Cowboys honestly they lost 2 points to the Buccaneers on opening night, and since then they've been on a run. They beat the Chargers, they beat the Eagles, Panthers, okay, Giants, okay, but the Patriots, I think they're going to start facing decent tests. We'll see about the Vikings. Broncos, I think, is a dub, but honestly,
Cousins
having
did win his first primetime game last year.
that's true. But you do have the Chiefs, Raiders, and Saints. Honestly, 3 tough games. I wouldn't say they're like uber hard. Once again, the Raiders.
You have Washington on the
Raiders
They
were
will
on the
probably
bridge.
Destroy the Chiefs. CeeDee Lamb's going for 215 easy. 2 tutters.
Once again, you still have a championship team there. I have to believe in the players to adapt at some point. But once again, I'm going to go ahead and talk on the support of the Chiefs on the fact of if I'm wrong, as a Raiders fan, I still win. But once again, I do honestly think the Chiefs snap out of the funk at some point because it's still Patrick Mahomes, dude. Like, once again, I think the problem is not Mahomes. Sure, he's slinging it out there, but a lot of these interceptions that are happening should have happened in years before.
What do you think of all the Chiefs fans blaming it on the baby? They're saying he hasn't been the same since
Well,
he's
his his family's probably not the best either. Like, I mean, he's had a kid. His wife is on fucking Twitter all the
Literally
time.
has
His
the
brother's
worst
on
brother
TikTok.
anybody could fucking have. Like,
I don't know. I think like George Hitler had a worse brother,
well, I mean,
or John
in technical
John
terms.
Mussolini, Greg Stalin.
in
I'm just
technical
kidding. I don't know if
terms.
these are real people. I just threw random first names in front of dictator names.
Yeah.
But Jackson Mahomes is number 4.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, just the
Public
biggest,
enemy
the
number
biggest
1.
distraction. Yeah, even
'Cause-
Kansas City hates him. You know what I mean? Like,
Because
just-
honestly, Britney's not even that bad. I feel like Britney's like a minor nuisance. Like, okay,
She's
she's speaking up for a dude. Respect.
she's just supportive. Yeah.
Queen's got a king. I can respect that.
She's toned down,
I
too.
can respect tenacious women. Obviously.
I mean, yeah, you really.
Obviously,
gotta stand by that.
I really got to stand by that one. So I can respect her going on social media talking a bunch of shit. But why the fuck is Jackson Mahomes a thing?
Yeah, Jackson just.
He
needs
looks
to-
like if you
Can we
microwave.
cancel?
He looks like if you microwaved a fucking troll doll for too long.
Can we cancel Jackson?
Yeah, can we please?
I just want to.
Yeah, we can cancel John Gruden for some emails. He literally danced on a dead player's like memorial. Can we cancel him like already? Can everybody stop following Jackson on TikTok?
Yeah, Sean Taylor actually is one of my all-time favorite players.
I wish Sean Taylor would have come up out of the ground for 2
National
seconds
treasure.
just to throw that hit that he threw on Weatherford in the Pro
Yeah,
Bowl.
just hit it on
Throw one on
Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Just throw one.
I'm here for it. No
But-
pads.
All right, the saltiness over. Back to the NFC. Honestly, right now I think it is a 4-headed race. Every single 5-team race. Honestly, you got the Rams, Cardinals, Bucks, Packers, Cowboys, and I think the NFC does look tougher. Honestly, like through the top seeds, I think they're much more top heavy, but they're also stronger
I think
at
your
the
other
top
2
seeds.
wild card teams would probably be the Vikings and the Saints.
Well, also out of the AFC, it's been kind of the same story the last 3-4 years. Patriots, Chiefs, Patty, Ravens, Titans, Browns, Steelers. Not necessarily this year, but you kind of get the same storylines. The Bills, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of the same formula. The NFC just looks completely fucking different. Like, it looks strong. Outside the Buccaneers are the Buccaneers, but Rams and the Cardinals especially are
Well,
just,
there's 4 offenses who have scored 200
Packers,
points,
yeah, like-
and there's only one in the AFC, and
AFC.
that's the Bills at 203. But yeah, there's literally the Rams, Cardinals, Bucks, and Cowboys have all scored more than the Bills have. So I mean, the top four offenses are in the NFC right now.
And that's why I personally just see the Bills, or as of right now, being the only team in the AFC with their defense. They at least have that offense that can shoot out with somebody.
I also think the Hawks could have been 4-3, 5-2 if Russ didn't get injured. So
I think
that
the
would
Hawks have been
made it-
carried by Russ for years, and now you're starting to really see that.
Oh, that's been a thing for
Yeah,
ever.
I think the defense carried Russ
After
early
their
in his career,
defense,
After
yeah.
the Legion of Boom
yeah.
left.
and then after the Legion of Boom.
Gotta flip. Yeah.
And that's the hard part too. Is I think like they had that 1 year where it lined up, and then honestly Russ's ascension just came past their descension, and it just kind of worked.
things.
What do you guys say about the Legion of Boom, Mike?
They were great.
It's my
Great.
favorite Super Bowl.
It's amazing they didn't last
That was the
that.
one.
They
losing goal
broke
for
up
the
that
Seahawks
quickly.
in the entire birthday.
Oh,
party
yeah, no,
for the
it's
Broncos fans.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Favorite Super Bowl. Yeah, I got Bills coming out of the AFC, and then NFC. I'm a little partial to the Cardinals in a sense.
I think the Cardinals just look too complete to not even be partial.
The Rams. I know the Rams. Obviously, they're not undefeated, but they're just.
I think the Rams lost a lot of crucial pieces that they had.
Still
last
got
year
Aaron
to the
Donald and
secondary.
Jalen Ramsey. I'm just gonna remind you of those two names.
The
And Matty
football team's
Stafford's
11
looking
players. I
Cooper
don't
Kupp.
know the last time the two players on the defense really. made
Yeah,
a
listen,
difference
you
on
don't even
themselves
need two
besides,
girls because you got one Cooper Cup, all right? So it's not a bad joke. But one of my fantasy team names that's absolutely killing it right now is called
Oh, I know.
that. So
Do you believe I did beat you in that league?
yeah, my one loss. He will flex
Oh,
on any
Wizard.
There's
thing.
that. There goes that head. Just nice and big, nice and inflated. Yeah, pump it up.
Pump the jam, Sigmund. Who's your Super Bowl pick? Not the Colts.
Jazz, Cardinals, Bills, just like it was week 1.
I really don't think that was your pick, week 1.
Any receipts on that?
Yeah. Do we have any sort of? I mean, you're literally. Oh my God.
Do we have receipts?
Yeah, I know we have. We can go back and watch.
Yep,
We can go back. And
We
watch
do.
Week 1.
we do.
Next pod.
We
you guys
record
touch
all
on
this. It's saved in the annals of
Yeah,
internet
he's just
history.
scrolling now.
I'm
Pretty sure I said that about 8 weeks ago.
All right, Mikey boy, who's your Super Bowl pick?
that. Ravens, Rams. Really like what Stafford's cooking there. McVay, one of the best, if not the best, offensive mind. If they can avoid any major injuries on defense, I could see the Rams coming out.
I'm going Bills. Yeah, Bills Rams. I never got back to that. But what about you?
Set the scene. 3 years ago, NFL owners meeting. Stan Kroenke walks in, throws his dick on the table along with $3 billion and says, I'm going to Los Angeles and the Chargers are coming with me. But Stan, Los Angeles is the Raiders city. Or yeah, the Chargers are coming with me. Rams, whatever. I don't fucking know.
Rams.
Rams and Chargers. Moral of the fucking story.
He's only taking one. He only owns one team.
No, he wants one team. The Chargers, because once again, their fucking foo-foo color schemes match. So, Mark Davis and his $27.36 haircut get kicked out of Los
They have
Angeles,
great clips there, right?
and they go to a city that is honestly a much better fit. I prefer it. The Las Vegas Raiders has a better ring to it. Los Angeles already happened. It's 80s, 90s, whatever. But now, Los Angeles in their brand new stadium that they are hosting the Super Bowl in wins the NFC Championship game. And they are met by the Derek Carr-led Raiders, who have been hit by the NFL.
Up.
They have been shot in the sniper scope just like in 1983.
The
league
greatest
favorite.
30 to ever exist.
The league favorite versus the league outcast. And Matt Stafford absolutely dices up our young secondary. 38-35. Raiders win by a Daniel Carlson 54-yard field goal.
the fuck up.
Boom! Come the fuck on. We're 5-2. If I'm ever going to predict a Super Bowl, it's right now.
No,
It's right now.
You were correct. But
Our team, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. The ceiling of the Raiders is contender. Ceiling.
I'm not saying you guys aren't a playoff team.
Yeah, I got to believe in the faith of everything else here.
I think
Oh,
2, potentially 3, but I really only hope to make it out of the AFC West.
It's going to be dangerous. I still think, honestly, I'd still bet down on 3. So,
I'm hoping
All right, I'm gonna leave you boys to finish out the segment. I'm gonna wiggle my fat ass on out of here.
'Cause the
I'm gonna
thing
go do
is
some funny
if-
edits of Sigmund's head. Well, you guys are still on
Chill. The thing is if there's 3, it means my Colts can't make it. So I'm really hoping there's 2.
aren't fucking making it.
Got to beat the Titans out to make it,
Technically,
brother.
4 teams can make it this year. There's 3 wild cards left.
This is true.
Be wild.
Something about
'Kay.
the AC West.
Yeah, only 2 teams are gonna make it out of there. 2 from the south and 2 from the north.
You're fucking high.
1 from the east.
East, west, south, northwest.
I got it all planned out. It's scoped.
Well.
It's mapped.
Listen,
What'd you do if the
I
Colts
guess we'll
just
be,
won the rest of their games and we
leaving
finish
it
out
there.
14-3?
To you.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh, keep it going.
What'd you
be
do if the
honest, I'm-
Colts just won out the rest of the season and we finish out 14-3?
Shut
up. And with that,
So when's gonna be ending on this year? Let's here's some final stats.
3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, 3
That's
picks.
it? That's like a fucking mediocre year at best, with an extra week in there too. Oh my God! Wow.
He's going for 3,200 yards.
It's gonna be
24
huge.
tutties and 13 interceptions. He's making the Pro Bowl.
MVP year.
Well, I mean, Jonathan Taylor's also trying to rush for 2K, so you got to balance it out.
Well, yes. So there's an extra week this year.
That's what I said. Jonathan Taylor's also trying to rush for 2K, so you got to balance it out. He is second in the league, but he's got quite a leap.
I'm sure when they're doing
behind
game
him.
planning, all right, we need to get Johnny needs $150 this week.
I mean, that's how I would game plan it.
Well, there's a reason you're on the coach. Huh, Squirt?
Helps my fantasy. Just do not call me Zach's nickname.
It's not destined just for Zach. I've said it to you. Yes, I've definitely said it to you.